HipHopSince1987.com.
Masika Kalysha, and you are now tuned into Hip Hop Since 1987.
Yes, and my name is Alanna Milan. I'm so happy to talk to you.
Hey, boo, hey. I had this hairstyle a couple days ago, the two puffs.
I'm like, oh, I gotta take my weave off with the little puffs thing.
Yes, girl, I was rocking the puffs. I just put my wig back in.
How are you?
Good, girl. Just busy all over the place, but can't complain.
Even in the quarantine, okay, period.
Listen, quarantine and got a nigga even some more hustles, okay?
Me too. I'm really excited about it. Being stuck in the house wasn't that bad.
You know, I don't like being stuck in the house like on purpose. Although even when I can go places, I'm usually in the house anyway. But I like having the option to be able to go places.
I know that you just dropped a new single.
Captain.
Tell me the inspiration behind that.
You know, I mean, niggas be capping. It was just pretty much, you know, the group chat you have with your girlfriends. Girl, let me tell you what this nigga did. Let me tell you what this nigga said. Bitch, this nigga then took a picture in front of a race, knowing good and damn well he just happened to be in the hotel and that was outside. Bitch, you drive a Charger. Like, you know, it's just really like how motherfuckers just be capping and, you know, lying so much. So instead of being angry about it, like it was more of like to tease and make it kind of funny, like, you know, that sort of vibe. And then also to point out, like, you can lie all you want to, but I got my own bag, so I know what money look like. So I know you broke. Like, it's easy to fool a bum ass bitch. It's easy to fool somebody never had nothing, but I got this house, this car, this bag. So I know you renting. I know your credit is 500. I know the diamonds ain't real. You know, so it was just like a funny, like, you know, funny song that was still relatable.
And your journey to releasing music, it's been pretty steady. I'm 23, so I kind of grew up watching your, you know, time of loving hip hop, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll just say, like, how has the transition been from then up to now in your artistry?
You know, the bigger transition for me was actually going to reality TV. I come from the scripted world. My first TV job was a film. I've done a lot of commercials and, you know, smaller roles in movies and films. And then, like, in my college days, I was doing all the music videos because I was in Atlanta when they were really popular back then. And I actually had a record deal at 18. I was in a pop group before that. So, like, the transition to reality TV is what was the big change for me. I wasn't used to it. I didn't know what to expect. The editing, the tricks, like the way they portray you, I didn't know about that. So for me, that was the transition. Coming off of reality TV was so much more natural and easier back to the scripted world and back to like music more and the things that I'm actually used to. So, you know, everybody always asks, like, how was it leaving reality TV? Normal. It was the reality TV that wasn't normal.
That shit is crazy.
Ciao.
TV is crazy, but I know that you transitioned into acting as well on Pump, on Urban.
Yes. So like I said, I started off acting. My first TV role was in Three Can Play That Game back in 2006. And I had a small role towards the end where I had dialogue with Vivica Fox and a couple other people. And that was like my first scripted role with dialogue. Since then, I've done several things. And even like when I first got casted for Love and Hip Hop, I had just finished a National Ford commercial campaign with some really amazing actors. And even throughout the filming, I was still doing other things. Like I did a Adidas commercial and a Nike commercial and, you know, a couple of small roles. So now that I am not on reality TV, I have more time to devote to the scripted world. My show Pump, we did our 6 episodes. And as soon as quarantine lifts enough for that type of filming with these large film crews, because, you know, any given day on set is 100 people. And, you know, we can be in small quarters. So as soon as we're able to get back to it, we're filming the next 6. I prefer that, honestly. I love it. And I just, keep working and keep auditioning, and hopefully I'll be on the big screens really soon.
I keep going. You already doing it. Like, didn't you have a guest appearance on Insecure?
What'd you say?
Aren't you gonna have a guest appearance on Insecure? Did that come
Yeah, I did already. I think it was episode 3.
Okay.
3 or 4. It was a Thanksgiving episode. My agent submitted me after all the roles were casted, so they only had day players with like 1 or 2 lines, which I was so pissed about. Like, why would you not submit me in the beginning of the season, sis? But anyway, they're really happy with me, and mentioned the idea of writing my character in more episodes because I am Molly's sister-in-law, which gives me room to grow. So I'm knocking on wood. I'm hoping that they will do that. But, even if they don't, it was an amazing experience, something great to put on my resume. And I loved filming with them. It was awesome.
Aside from acting and music, I know that you also do, like, you're into stocks. I know you're coming out with a book. I know that you have Khari Barbie cosmetics, like,
yes, which I am wearing.
Yes. Let's start off with Khari Barbie. I know it's named after your daughter. How has
Yes. I mean, it's been amazing. Like, I've learned so much because, one thing I always was told was never use your own money for your business. But, when I started it, I was pregnant and I really didn't have the options. I used all my own money. So, when you invest in yourself, it gives you a different type of responsibility and like makes you like, of course, everybody wants their business to succeed. But like when it's your blood, sweat, and tears that you put in it, it's like, this has to succeed. So no one really gave me a blueprint. No one told me anything. I've learned so much from making mistakes, losing money, losing products, having employees just go bananas. So I've made a lot of adjustments, improvements, and the company just continues to grow, and I'm very appreciative of it. And, I'm really hoping in the next, literally like year to 2 years that, we'll be as big as like a Fenty. And, have big aspirations of growing like to the size of like a MAC Revlon. So that is that's my plan. And the cool thing is, with these huge companies, we really don't see them advertising or even caring about the integrity of their products. Vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free. My hair products are organic, so that's really important to me. And I want to push beauty that also is good for you, not something that's harmful for your skin. So that's like my main like purpose of pushing it like that.
And I know you were supposed to release the stock book that you were. I know you were supposed to release it a couple weeks ago. And why did you have to push it back? And when are you pushing it back to?
Well, I was going to release it on my birthday, which was June 7th. Mm-hmm. And with everything that was going on in the world, we're coming off a pandemic. It's still a pandemic. It hasn't been lifted yet. But, it was like we were almost at that 3-month quarantine mark, and things were just about to start opening and getting back to what the new normal is when Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd were taken from us. And it happened in such a whirlwind. You saw everything that happened, and it's still happening now. And I think, that's right when I dropped Cap'n as well. And I didn't even promote. I was supposed to start this promo run 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks before I did. And I pushed everything back out of respect for Black people, out of respect for what was going on. And not just out of respect for it, out of my pain, what I was going through. Like, it was just, I did not feel right devoting time and energy to push something, promote something, or sell something. Although this stock market book is not like, it's not something that I'm doing for me to make money. Of course, I will make money on it, but it's an investment for people to build wealth. And, one of the huge things that's important when you look at these situations where we're fighting for Black Lives Matter and, equal rights and stuff like that, if you really get down to it, we are treated poorly because we're poor. If we had money, if we had wealth, if we had, what these Republicans have that are able to put money behind these Republican campaigns, get their district attorneys and their attorney generals appointed that are acquitting these officers because they have the money to do it. You know, Joe Biden is trying to raise $10 million for his campaign. Meanwhile, Trump has $617 million for his. So it's like, it all comes down to that. You know, when you go into the bank and you get denied for a loan, when you deposit $100 in the bank, they take $90 of that and invest it, flip it, or give someone else a loan. They only are required to keep 10% of your money within the bank. So if we were going to Black banks, Black-owned banks, that we are putting our money in, allowing them to take that 90% to like regenerate, regrow, reinvest. When we go into those banks, we can get our loans. Our kids can get student loans. We can get financing for things. So it's like, if we looked at it like that and started like building wealth within our communities, we could take over. If we had money within the Black and brown and the Democratic communities, Trump wouldn't be up there. We would have enough money to push the campaigns for our candidates. I truly don't think that Barry Sanders would have resigned if he had the money Trump had in his campaign. And I mean, I could be wrong. And then again, like, there's things that we're just not taught about because our parents didn't know, so they didn't teach us. And then we don't divulge or get into it, so we don't learn. Like life insurance, you know, with the looting and the rioting started, all these companies started making apologies and taking stances, and we're donating to Black Lives Matter, and we're going to hire more Black people. You're hiring more Black people as if Black people just came out. You didn't know we didn't exist before this? You know, these companies, they have huge insurance policies. So, of course, whether it's genuine or not, they're going to be on our side of things, because when insurance has to pay out for a loss like that, you get penalized. Insurance will drop you. Your insurance premium, your rates will go up. Like, all sorts of things happen because insurance, they don't want to make that big payout. Could you imagine if any of these Black people that have been murdered by the police, or Ahmaud Arbery wasn't murdered by the police, but still, any of these like situations, if any of these Black people had life insurance, we wouldn't be fighting for Black Lives Matter. The insurance companies would, because they don't want to pay money for niggas. So, you know, with the stock market tips workbook that I created, it is literally teaching you how to generate wealth, and it's starting where the white people do it. Like, stock market is very confusing. The terminology is not made for us to understand. The numbers are confusing. It is literally made for old wrinkly pink men that just read all day. So it's intimidating, and it was intimidating for me. I hired, you know, advisors to do it for me, and within 4 years of me having people on my payroll that were misappropriating funds and not, you know, allocating things the right way, I dived into the stock market 4 weeks during this quarantine. In 4 weeks, I had a bigger return on my investment than I had in 4 years with my advisors, and I fired everybody. So I pushed it back again to respect everything that was going on, and I kind of wanted to give I don't want to say the world time to heal, because we're still healing and we're still hurting. But excuse me, sir, can I ask you where you're going? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I wanted to push it back for that purpose. And I decided to make it available on the 4th of July, because the 4th of July is a lie. That is not our Independence Day. Our Independence Day just passed, Juneteenth. And I want to, on the 4th of July, I want to focus on us. Black businesses, Black ownership, Black wealth. Fuck them fireworks. That's not for us. You know, the 4th of July is a political Independence Day. Juneteenth is Independence Day for people. Like, Black people became free. And we still ain't free in 2020. So I will be releasing it on the 4th of July, and I'm really, you know, focusing on that and hoping that no Black people support that shit this season. Like, that's not a fucking holiday.
and support a stock book, period. Because
Period.
and I'll say this as a young person, I'm actually out of college, or graduating.
It's kind of hard to hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can, but it's like really low.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna talk. Tell me if you hear it. They're gonna cut this out.
I mean, it's a little better.
Okay, cool. But I was saying, like, I'm 23. I'm freshly out of college. I graduated a year ago, and I'm from Philadelphia. Philadelphia school district, horrible. I was at one of the bottom schools, but I was always at the top of the class because it was easy, flew through it. But I feel like we should have learned financial literacy. Like I'm just now, like I'm not. I won't say just now, but like I had stuff how to pay. Like, like, so I think stuff like this is really important, especially for people my age, because we live in a time now where the information is literally given to us by people like you. So do you have any tips for stuff like that?
You said, do I have any tips for
Credit, financial literacy, etc.?
A million. So definitely follow me on Twitter at Masika Kalysha. And then I have a whole IG page I made called Masika's Rich Bitch Tips, where I'm giving out tons of tips on financial literacy, stocks, investment, credit, business, how to start your day, things like that. So make sure you everybody's following those pages for updates on that. But 23 is the perfect age. I didn't really divulge into this till I was like 27, 28. And I was doing all right, but like I didn't really understand. Someone just sent me a message. Thank you. Today's my first day of making money with options trading. I love it. It just popped up on my screen. I love seeing it. Love to see it. Anyway, yeah, so I really didn't know much of anything. And, there's a famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And in the book, his dad was the poor dad and his best friend was the rich dad. Mm-hmm. And he was asking his dad questions about being an entrepreneur like his friend was. And he was like, well, he gets to make his own rules and do his own thing, but he doesn't have job security like I have. And then, he was asking his dad, well, why don't they teach us about, owning your business and entrepreneurship and paying bills and credit? Why don't they teach about any of that stuff in school? And his father was a school teacher. He was like, well, I work for the government. Like, it's not, the government doesn't, and I don't want to misquote him, but basically it was to the gist of like, school's never going to teach you how to empower yourself. School prepares you to be a worker. And there's nothing wrong with school. Like, we have to have the background. Like, you have to have the basics to function and speak well and, things like that. But I've never, like, when I was having trouble paying rent, I couldn't go to my leasing office and say, I know the square root of pi.
Seriously, you had to figure it out. Deal to the list.
I know these lights about to get cut off, but do you know about the Dewey Decimal System? I do. I've personally never used.
Me.
I never talked about the battle at Gettysburg when they sent me a eviction notice. That didn't help me. So like, why is school not teaching us how to pay bills, about credit? Because almost every person that I know fucked up their credit in college because their parents didn't have good credit, didn't teach them anything about credit. School never taught you about credit. They offer you you get a student loan, then you get offered credit cards. You don't even know how to use them. You don't know the difference between the payment date and the statement date and like all these things. So it's like they set you up for failure. I truly believe that the wealthy people, the 2% or whatever percent, that are holding the wealth, I believe that they want to eliminate the middle class altogether. I really think they want it to be poor and rich so that they can put poor people in cages damn near like they've done to immigrants we've seen and just do whatever the fuck they want. Teaching us financial literacy gives us power and allows us to take our power back and take it away from those who are in power. So, the importance of paying bills early or on time, the importance of budgeting. With my stock market book, I'm also dropping a budgeting book. These things got me through college when I was, making ends meet. I had a checkbook ledger and I would write every transaction down and subtract it and add it so that I know exactly what I had available at the time. Like, that was before, like, we had all these apps available at our fingertips, back with Motorola Razr phones and stuff. So, like, I couldn't just go onto the banking app to see what was going on. I literally wrote everything down. And when I was doing that, I was so well organized. And I was probably at the time making like $4 or $5 grand a month. But like, even though right now, like if I make $4 or $5 grand a day, I'm like, I did bad. So back then when I was making that per month that I couldn't possibly live off of now, I was, of course my bills were much, less, but I was able to get everything done and still have extra and still enjoy my life because I was budgeting, because I was writing it down, because I knew what was available. And, anytime, a month or two, when I missed things, anytime I missed that or missed the not deadline, or like forgot to write something down, things will go a little haywire. So I don't, now in the digital era, there's so many great apps that you can use too for budgeting on your phones, but it's just something about writing it down. So I definitely would advise everyone to budget, to create a budget, to make a budget, to stick to a budget, include your bills, include groceries, give yourself an allowance, put some money aside to save, start saving up to invest. Also, credit, don't ever max out your cards. Never put something on credit that you can't afford to buy. If you can't afford to buy it, just because you have a credit card doesn't mean you should buy it. Use credit cards to build credit, not to bail you out of situations. And things like that. Like, it's so many tips, and we don't have enough time to like share them all, but starting young is a huge advantage. Like I said, I started at 28, so you are way ahead of the game, sis.
I'm ready. You're inspiring. I said you're inspiring.
Oh, well, thank you.
I can't wait to actually get the book.
Yeah, it's really going to be life-changing. I'm very proud of it. I spent countless sleepless days and nights writing this book. When quarantine hit, no nanny, no school, no daycare, no assistants. So like, I'm full-time mom running my company. And then when Khari goes to bed, that's when I would like, okay, it's demon time, it's stock market hour. I would be up like rubbing my eyes writing this book. And it's like, I'm learning, researching, and writing as I go. Because like me, like I dropped out of college. I don't learn, like I can't sit in class and just let someone talk and I regurgitate it. I have to like do it as I go. So that's kind of how I wrote the book. And it's not like a book to read. It's like a interactive workbook where it's like, it'll give you a lesson, then you apply it to life, then you see how it works. Then it gives you another lesson. You apply that to life, you see how it works. Then you go back to this application, then you tie into this application. Like, it's just the way I think, the way I was able to learn something that, like, if I went to a class to learn this, I would probably sit there like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I broke it down, I think, in a way that is like simple, stupid. Like, there's no way you can't grasp it this way. So, I'm really praying that it's going to be a blessing to so many lives. And I know if done correctly, this can be your best investment you'll ever make, because this investment will teach you how to invest, and investing literally can change your life.
We love to see it.
We love to see it, sis.
Okay, and where can we keep up with you?
So all of my websites, MasikaKalysha.com is my personal website. You can go to it right now, but it will be updated. Helicopter. It will be updated in the next like week or so. KhariBarbieBeauty.com, all of your beauty needs, all of my new products, my Khari Barbie Closet, which is the clothing line version, all makeup, hair products, everything. But the best way to really know what's going on is through my social media pages. Pretty much all my social media pages are at Masika Kalysha, except for my SoundCloud and my Facebook, which is King Masika Kalysha. And then I have my stock markets tip page, which is Masika's Bitch Tips. So right now in my bio on Instagram, I only have my store, but I'm going to be adding all of the links where you can find me. So that will be like a great hub to find everything you need to know that is about Masika Kalysha.
Thank you for talking to me. This was really
Thank you. And make sure you guys stream Cappin'. It's available right now on all streaming services, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iTunes. Check out the video exclusive to World Star. It is on YouTube. I have repinned it from World Star. Make sure y'all run my numbers up. Watch that lyric video because the bitch be saying shit. Okay. Period. Add me to your playlist. I have more music I'm dropping. I'm so excited. Over the summer, like my EP is done, honey. The bitch been working. And we about to hit these streets.
Like she said, go look at that lyric video. With some Instagram captions in there.
Yes, Instagram caption for that ass. I could be your wife or I could be Lorena Bobbitt. I could cut you off, wouldn't even think about it. Got niggas lining up, but you popping. Gapping. Period.
Move.
Period, boo.
Make sure you follow us at HipHopSince1987 and follow me at
That's a great year. That's the year I was born. Period.
1987. Okay, I was born 1997. Right.
Ooh, yeah.
You're hilarious.
You can be my little cousin.
Thank you, Masika.
Thank you. And y'all have a great day. Thanks for having me.
Yes, bye.
Bye-bye.